The face of the U.S. military is changing.
This month marks 1 year since the Pentagon lifted its ban on transgender service members. Some soldiers, including 2 in the Minnesota National Guard, are now reporting for duty as a different gender. Tonight, they're sharing what it's like to transition in uniform. Kim Johnson brings this story that you'll see only on WCCO.
Terrence Robertson doesn't shy away from breaking barriers. Before the world would meet Terrence, there was Tara, who on a deployment to Afghanistan became the first female in Minnesota to serve in a combat zone.
It took the guys a little while to get used to me.
That would be the first trail the captain would blaze.
I felt like I should have always been a boy. I couldn't explain it.
It's a feeling often shared by those who are transgender. Because of the military's ban on trans troops, Robertson repressed those feelings in and outside the military.
I love serving in the military, and I didn't want to risk my career.
Meanwhile, in a different unit, another soldier had the same feelings about gender, but repressing them was too much to bear. Sergeant Sebastian Namick had been living as a man at home, but going to drill female.
At this time, you could get kicked out for being openly transgender, and so that was something I just didn't tell the guard.
What was it like to have to suppress part of who you are?
I would get really anxious before drill, and I'd have to kind of like do some self-care after a drill weekend, because when in civilian life I was pronoun correctly, I'd use the male restroom, male locker room, everything was perfectly fine, but then when I'd go to drill, I was forced to do all female things, and so that got to be really hard.
That double life for the soldiers ended July 30th, 2016, when then Secretary of Defense Ash Carter lifted the ban on allowing transgender troops to serve openly. Deciding to transition, taking hormones, undergoing surgery, was the easy part. Telling their comrades would take more bravery than deploying for battle.
I stood in front of the company and addressed every soldier in the company and told them that I was transgender.
What was that like for you, though, to get up there?
It was very difficult. I was reluctant, and I felt like I had to do it because we recently got some results from a survey that came back, and there were some soldiers that had expressed some concern, that had heard that I was transgender, and they were concerned about having a transgender commander. They were concerned about sharing a bathroom with me.
Do they have a 1/50,000 map for AHATs or just the 1/25?
I believe.
Since they began serving as men, both Robertson and Namick have met little resistance.
At my new unit, they're very accepting and are encouraging. My supervisor helped a lot, and my company commander helped a lot.
It's a sort of in-between time for the soldiers. While the Pentagon processes their gender change request, they are still required to use female bathrooms.
We have a couple of single stall bathrooms, so I always use those as opposed to using the regular full bathroom, just to try to ease anybody's concerns.
Where to sleep on overnight drills can also be an issue.
Once I was on hormones for a while and my voice started dropping, and when new people would come to the unit, they would automatically perceive me as male. It's like, you probably shouldn't be sleeping in the female bay, but by regulation I can't sleep in the male bay either.
The solution? His company commanders arranged for him a single room. It's a culture of acceptance that flows all the way from the top brass of the Minnesota National Guard.
We're becoming a much more inclusive force.
Brigadier General John Jensen believes an inclusive military is a strong military.
We need to reflect our society and our culture that we come from. And we know that these people are present in our community, so why should they not be part of our military? Why should we not allow them to contribute to their country?
It's an unprecedented time in the U.S. military, and these members are proud to lead the way.
So you are one of the first transgender troops ever in the U.S. military. Do you feel like you're making history?
I like to think so. I think it's more on a small scale level in Minnesota. I want to lead a path and bring some of these people together, as well as show younger trans people that it's possible to do all these things.
And while they are proof it is now possible to be transgender and soldier, there is one they hope always comes first.
I just don't want it to be a thing or a label, or, you know, I'm a soldier. That is the first thing that I am.
Kim Johnson, WCCO 4 News.
A ban on enlisting new transgender recruits had been set to expire on July 1st. However, at the request of U.S. military leaders, it has been delayed 6 months.